kid in America wishes they had a mom as cool as Lorelai Gilmore. On the hit show The Gilmore Girls, Lauren Graham plays a single mom with a 16-year-old daughter, but they sound a lot more like best friends. Take a look.
Hey, Gilmore! Mom! Luckily, there are video cameras everywhere that caught this very graceful moment on tape.
I'm so glad to see you.
No, I'm glad to see you.
I'm never leaving home again.
Oh, that's my emotionally stunted girl. Hey, I got you gifts.
What? I'm the one that left town. I'm supposed to get you gifts.
Oh, but I got here early and there was nothing to do except feed gummy bears to the bomb-sniffing dogs, which apparently the United States government frowns upon.
We're so glad to see her. Please welcome Lauren Graham. You were watching our Hot Topics when Lisa was talking about her friend who was going to get married but isn't in love with the man. What was your reaction to that?
Well, I'm sort of the person among all my friends who's like, break up, no, it's never going to work, move on.
Oh, you do? You tell the truth, the way you think.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, a marriage is so hard to maintain. You should start it with your highest hopes, you know.
Do you date slobs? Like, you know, like the guy who would eat with his hands or whatever? We're always talking about her letter.
No, I think I've had a pretty neat bunch.
Well, what do you deal with someone if they are?
I don't know. I feel like it's just part of communication. You know, it's part of what you work out in a relationship. I have always dated guys who, when they're doing something sloppy or something I find irritating and I kick them under the table, say, why are you kicking me under the table? Which, of course, defeats the whole point of, like, kicking somebody under the table. Yeah. So I'm more into discreet than neat, I guess.
Now, in your show, you play a mom who's very close to her daughter. It's more like they're best friends than they are mother and child.
Yeah.
Do you see that as the kind of relationship you would want if you had a daughter?
I think pretty much.
I think you're supposed to be a mom, not a best friend.
Yeah, I think I'm in big trouble the day I have kids because I could never possibly be as cool as this character. I mean, part of what's built into the story is I had her when I was 16, which of course is not an ideal circumstance to begin with.
And you're
but that's one of the
parent,
reasons
right?
I'm a single parent. That's one of the reasons we're so close. No, I think you have to have some kind of discipline, don't you? Or I mean, I also have my TV daughter is perfect. Nearly perfect, so it's an ideal really. But I do think, I mean, I do have a great friendship with this young actress who plays the daughter and with my little sisters, and I think it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Well, Lauren, you and I have a lot in common. We were both primarily raised by our fathers up until our teenage years, and I don't know about you, but my father embarrassed me so much, and I humiliate him on the show very often.
I do the same to mine.
But do you have any particular embarrassing moments?
Oh, sure. Well, I mean, let me just pick one. It was just all about kind of inconsistency in my family. There was the Halloween that my dad kind of forgot about Halloween until the last minute, and I ended up dressed in his brown sweater, like scrunched up with a riding hat on, and I was a coconut. That is sad. Isn't that awful? That's a sad story. It encouraged me to be creative and use my imagination.
What was it like when you began dating, though? Was your father nice to your boyfriend?
Yeah, he's nice. He's a very nice person, but he will never say their name. You know, I think it, like, somehow prevents them from being totally real. Like, he's always like, how's, Ohio? You know, like, he'll just call them by kind of, like, some state. Yes, or whatever.
But how were you his girlfriends?
I don't think that I ever really realized my father was dating until, like, last year. You know, until he met my stepmother who moved in, and then it was obvious. But before that, you know, I said to him very recently, I was like, Dad, I feel so bad. You know, he's a handsome and charming guy, and I feel like you devoted so much to me. You didn't really date, and he was like, no. I dated.
He just didn't tell you.
I dated. Yeah. He I don't know. Apparently, I wasn't very bright.
Well, I know one woman he dated for just a second at least. If you took him to the SAG Awards, he was your date, which was lovely too. You were nominated for your performance in the drama, which is wonderful. Congratulations on the nomination. How was it to walk the red carpet with the best date in the world, a girl's dad?
Well, on the one hand, I mean, I did frankly go through a thing where I was like, is this like taking your brother to the prom? Like, is this something kind of, you know, embarrassing? And then you forget, you know, when you're in this kind of business, like, family love to take part in it. They love to see what it actually is, and even to see that it's not how it looks on camera, or, you know, just to be part of it, I think was a big deal for him. He saw Nicole Kidman in the green room, and he, like, couldn't stop talking about her.
Maybe he wants to date her.
I don't know. He was like, wow, she's so pretty and she's so tall. I was like, I know, Dad. She's a movie star. So he got a kick out of it.
Well, you're a star yourself. You've been in a lot of shows before Gilmore Girls. Townies was one, Caroline in the City, Conrad Bloom. Yeah, great. But I'm a major Seinfeld fan, and I remember you as the speed dial date. That was the episode that you were in. What was it like to work with him?
He's a doll.
Yeah.
You must have had him here.
No.
You know him. Oh, no?
No.
Well, he's in town.
I know.
mean, call him up.
Call him and tell him to come on by.
We're good friends from that one episode. He is so nice. He's a comic who laughs at everyone else. You know, who really seems to appreciate.
But were you nervous with him?
Oh yeah, I was so nervous because you know I had done all these shows up until then, and I have a lot of family from Long Island where he's from, and all anybody cared about was that I did Seinfeld, and he was just wonderful. He was a
good audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but before you made it big, I understand that you and your friend Connie Britton from Spin City devised this plan to continue living in LA without paying rent. Is that true?
Well, it wasn't so much a plan. It was a wacky scheme where we had we had someone who we kind of knew who was kind of going through a divorce, and her house was not yet assigned, or you know whatever happens, and so it didn't have any furniture, and the electricity was going to be cut off any day, and we had one pan, and all we ever ate were Rice Krispie treats, because you can make them in just the one pan and then like eat them right out of the thing. And we had parties where people would come and sit on the floor, and I mean, it was really bare, the absolute bare necessities. But we're, you know.
And then you got a job eventually.
And then we both got, she got Spin City and came back here, and I got a guest star on Caroline in the City, and eventually we did get furniture and silverware. So it worked out.
You know, I read something interesting about you, that you love horses, and then you almost were thinking of becoming a jockey. You're a little tall for that, aren't you?
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Well, I kept adjusting because I love animals so much, and I love horses, and first I was going to be a jockey, and then, like, you know, 5'7" in the 7th grade, and it was not going to happen. And then I was going to be a vet, but I had a fish, and I killed it. And so I thought that wasn't really, no, I'm trying to be friendly. I think I actually took him out in the sun, because I thought he might enjoy it. I was little. Well, I didn't know.
You were already 5'7" when you were doing this?
No. That was before I was 5'7". I was slightly shorter and younger.
Except for the fish. You're really cool. You're going to be a great mom. A really cool
thank you,
mom.
I hope.
You're just wonderful. You're a delight. Our thanks to Lauren Graham. The Gilmore Girls are every Tuesday night. Check your local listings for time. We'll be right back.